Okay, well, we will get started. I've got this recording over in YouTube Live. So if you guys ever need to find some of our social media videos, they're over there or they're on our regular link. And I am looking for who was supposed to join us today for an audit. And I am going to go message her real quickly before we get started here because I thought she was going to be here. Okay. So welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you are here. We have this week and next week, and then I'm not doing these calls during the month of September. I feel like we have gone over all of the things and they are covered in all of the recordings, and we've got a lot of travel happening in September. So September, if you feel you need some additional support, you can watch one of the 20 recordings that we have of the call. So you can catch up on those. But what I love to do is I love to do an audit here. And I'm not sure, like I said, the person that said she was coming to the call for an audit, I don't see here. So I don't know if any of you would like to volunteer for an audit. You're welcome to. But what I also want to do is jump into what Sarah B shared last night about Kids Calm. How many of you were on our team call last night? Who was on our team call last night? Yes, so wonderful. Wasn't it good to hear from Dr. Sean? And I don't know if you saw it or not, but I also, in addition to sending you the recorded team call, I sent you an edited version of just the Dr. Sean part. So just in case you feel like you need an extra resource, we have Dr. Sean's video on the Amari Builder app. And I'm just going to say it again, guys. Reaching out to people directly is so important. I reached out to one of my partners today and said, have you heard about the new product? And she's like, what new product? She had no idea what's going on. Just because you've been around it and you've been hearing about it and talking about it for a while doesn't mean that other people have. It's back to school season. People are very busy. They are not seeing the messages in our message boards and our WhatsApp and all the places. It's your responsibility to reach out to them. And so I just will encourage you again to please do that. They do not see what you post on social media. So if you're relying on social media or Amari or our other message boards to reach people, you are missing thousands of dollars flowing out the window from you right now as we speak, because they do not know, they're not hearing about it, and and you're not talking about it with them. So I just want to encourage you again, reach out to your existing people and say, have you heard about the new product? And then you can answer their questions and share information with them once they say yes or no. And especially if you are here and you've got a partner that you enrolled, and maybe that partner's not very active, but they've got people they enrolled or people you placed under them. That is your team. That is your team. You are responsible as the one that's working and leading the team to reach out to them. So please do not come at me with, well, I don't want to get upset them. And that doesn't, you're just telling somebody about a new product that they can get at the best discount ever. Who's going to get upset about that? You've got to take responsibility for your team and reach out to folks. So I just want to encourage you again to be doing that. I know I sound like a broken record with it, but it's really, really important. And I know we've got a couple of folks that are volunteering for me to look at them, but Zoom user, I'm not sure who you are. So can you tell me what your name is and where your account is? And we can go look at that. But right now, while we're doing that, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to pull up some of the boards that Sarah B was talking about. Tell me in the chat if you don't know what Chat GPT is. Just say don't know. Just put it in the chat. Haven't used it, don't know what Chat GPT is, etc. Just feel free to put it in the chat. because I know it's fairly new and some of you know more about it than others. Let me see here. Hold on just a second. To pull up. And I'm actually going to do a little tutorial on boards as well. Okay, so familiar, love it, love Chat GPT. It's a game changer. Yes, okay, Caitlin, I got you. We'll be sure to visit your site here soon. So Chat GPT, guys, it's an AI search function, and AI stands for artificial intelligence. And what it basically is doing is it's a more robust search engine than Google is, right? You know, Google we use a lot to look up things, and we ask Google a question. You know, I asked Google a question last night: how do I edit a Zoom video? And I got lots of different options for answers. Chat GPT is pulling information from all over the web, which does mean that it could be inaccurate information at times because it doesn't have a moral compass like we do, and it's not a human being. It is just a computer search engine, but it's pulling information. And where it really comes in handy is for research, like what we're going to look at that Sarah did. So Sarah B was sharing with us last night that she went to Chat GPT, and it's free. If you ever see anything that says you need to pay for Chat GPT, do not click that. Do not do that. That is somebody trying to dupe you. You do not have to pay for it, just like you don't have to pay to do a Google search or a Safari search. Chat GPT is free. And maybe someone can drop the link in here for anybody that's not familiar with it, can drop the link in the chat so folks know what the free correct link is. So she just did a Chat GPT search around the topic of sleep and, you know, melatonin, around what some of the side effects are of melatonin or what's important about sleep. And that's what, like, let me give you a great example too. Recently, I was asked by a women's group that I'm part of, a professional women's group, if I could do a presentation for them about avoiding stress and stress burnout. And I said, sure. So you know what I did? I went to Chat GPT and I said, write me a presentation on avoiding stress. And Chat GPT said, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5. Chat GPT knows how to write presentations. It knows how to write proposals. It knows how to write contracts, which is why some people in the legal realm are feeling that they could be a little displaced because Chat GPT is so efficient with things like that. But, you know, you also have to be careful, like our students are using Chat GPT. They have to be careful to not plagiarize something that was pulled from somewhere else, but it could really give you a solid head start so that you're not staring at a blank sheet of paper. And I know Jazzy uses Chat GPT for scripts for videos. Jazzy, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's an actual app out there that I use. It's called BigVu, BIGVU. And it's amazing because it will actually write, like when I go in, I can click on a little button that says write my script. And it gives me a prompt going what it is that you're looking for. And then it will write my actual prompt out for me. And then when you go in to record the video, it's like a teleprompter and it's got it all right there. So if you go back into my my profile, what it's going to do is you'll see some of my reels that I've done, and I've used this actual AI to do those reels. So it's it makes it really simple and really easy. The thing too, guys, to remember about ChatGPT, about using any of these AIs is the more you do them and the more you work with them, the more they will actually conform to your style. So when you really start using it, when you start putting the prompts and stuff in, you really kind of want to get more specific about what it is that you're actually wanting ChatGPT to do. And so, but I love BigVu. It's just been a game changer for me because it's got all of the information right there. I don't have to worry about forgetting anything or or missing something. It's all right there ready to go for me. So
Great. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jazzy. And now see, I prefer to just be live and on the fly. So it makes me nervous if I do that much research for something. But that's why, we all have different styles. Bobby's the same way. So that's okay. You be authentically you. And I love that resource is available. And I do love that we go back to your ideal client. Because just like Jazzy said, when you become specific, it's speaking to that person. And the more you realize who your ideal client is, which if you are not familiar with our work on that, we've got recordings on ideal client, and I'm going to drop the link in here for everybody of where you can find all of our social media workshop recordings. That helps you to be able to talk to that person. When you're trying to speak to everyone, you're being heard by no one. So it's really important that you focus on your ideal client. It doesn't mean that you won't attract someone else. It just means that you can be really, that person feels that they can trust you and that they know you because you're like them. So that's why that matters so much. Social media workshop. Okay. So I think that's
Hey, Laura,
like,
because
yeah.
just to kind of specify too with that, and I just put it in the chat, I said the thing is like when I'm doing reels, I like using Big View just for the reels, because one thing that it does is I can tweak it down and keep it within that 90-second time span and get my message across, where when I'm doing live videos, I wing that completely 110%. I fly by the seat of my pants. And the thing is when it comes to social media, guys, Facebook, all social media platforms out there, they want the originality. They want you, but they want you using all of their tools. So they want you doing posts. They want you in your stories. They want you doing live videos. They want you doing reels. And the more diverse you can get with all of that, the more Facebook is going to put your stuff out there and show your stuff to other people.
Yes. Yes. Bobby, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say, I can attest to what Jazzy's saying, because the last time that we talked, I was struggling with getting engagement. And that's what I did is I started like and it didn't even matter what it was. Sometimes it was just a sentence because I didn't have time, or other times it was a picture of whatever happened to be on my gallery. And I just started putting things in the reels and the stories and on the posts, and I'm getting more engagement. So
yeah, great. Yes. And that's where Sarah's 5x5 that she taught for us, which is also in the recordings for us, but I'll show you where it is in boards. So I know most of you on this call are probably familiar with boards because we use them and we talk about them, but I definitely run into people that are not familiar or experienced with boards. Boards is just a location spot, an app that you keep file folders of things. So it's that's all that a board is. It's like a bulletin board, but it's a virtual bulletin board. It's kind of like Pinterest, but it's more specific of you develop your own file cabinet, and then you can share your file cabinet with other people and they have access to it. So that's how it works. What I love about boards the most is that you can put boards on your keyboard. When you download the board app, it asks, do you want to put this on your keyboard? And you can say yes. And what that helps with is you get a little icon on your keyboard, so that I use a lot of scripts and I'll modify them, but it saves me a lot of time. And even for images, if I can just tap the icon on my keyboard, go into the folder where that is, and then copy and paste it from there instead of having to go to notes or somewhere else with it. So this is Sarah B's board, and I think all of you have it. You are all, if you're here on this call, you are all on my team, on Sarah B's team, more than likely. You're welcome to use any of our boards. Mine and Sarah's are very similar, but in a couple of places, maybe a little bit different. So that doesn't matter. It just use whatever it is that you need. We spend time putting these together for you to have the resources. So this is her team board, for example, and let me drop in the chat a link to it. Hold on just a second. So this is a link to Sarah's team board, which is what I'm looking at. And when you go there, each one of these things is a folder. So you can click on any of these topics and unlock a folder of information about that topic. And then you can hit the arrow back to go back to the main menu with all the different topics listed. Okay. So right now we're going to look at the Kids Calm assets because we are in the Kids Calm launch. She has a overview of a pre-launch activity for Kids Calm. This one-page flyer is great. She's got some of the same assets that are on your Amari Builder site that are here as well. Notes from a call with Dr. Sean, the comparison sheet of how Kids Calm compares to other products, information about the pre-launch call, photos of Kids Calm, right here, tons of different photos that you could borrow or use of Kids Calm. She's also got 10 days of post. We're going to go back to that. She's got reach out scripts. And this is where I'm saying, like, if this was on your phone, your board icon was on your phone, you just tap that icon. And then when you open this up, you just click it and it copies the whole thing for you and you can post it somewhere. This is for someone that hasn't joined yet. There's a script for a current customer that you can just copy and paste and just modify for people who can't swallow capsules and who are looking for, maybe you've had a conversation with someone about sleep, but they didn't order it because they don't like to swallow capsules. For someone who hasn't ordered in a while, there's some scripts right there that you could just copy and paste and go out and share and use. And she's got some information about melatonin. Now I have on my board, I've got a link to all of the different articles on melatonin that I just did from a search and that others provided me. She's got testimonials here. Her son, a couple of other people that have posted some testimonials, a 13-year-old, just different testimonials there that you can borrow and use while you may not have one yet, image of the product label and upcoming calls. So we're going to go back to the 10 days of post. In the 10 days of post is the social media guide, which is the 5x5 guide. That's exactly what Jazzy and Bobby were talking about a second ago. That 5x5 guide teaches you your social media calendar of how do you post 5 days in 5 different ways. And that livens up the algorithm. It wakes up the algorithm. Like you do a story, then you do a reel, then you do a flat post, then you do a live video. And it's your 5x5 chart. You can see it here in this document. She gives tips, and then here's the 5x5 guide. A color block post for engagement. Now, you don't have to do them in that order. You can do them in whatever order you want, but the point is you mix it up so that it creates a little bit more, stimulates your algorithm more. Here are 10 days of posts that you can do around Kids Calm. Okay, even how to respond. You guys have seen these. Sarah Hines shared these. We shared these. Here they are here. But then here's the other stuff that she pulled, which are content ideas for Calm. And she pulled these simply from ChatGPT, but you don't have to go do that research. She did the research for you so that you could be in action faster. You can just go look at, here's an idea. Use some information about what the recommended amount of sleep is. She pulled something about that. Another idea is establishing a calm and consistent routine. And here are, 12 tips for a routine. You could do something like, I have 12 tips for a sleep routine that work for my house or that work for children or my grandchildren or whatever. If you want my 12 tips, I'd love to see yours and I'm happy to send you my 12 or something like that, where you're adding value to the audience. See, you're not asking them to buy Kids Calm, but you're talking about a subject that is around Kids Calm, like a sleep routine, and you're adding value. And that will help connect you with the audience to see you as an authority in that area, so that when you do say something about Kids Calm being available, or you're taking your VIP list or whatever, they connect that. They make the connection with that. Here's another one on not getting enough sleep can have a negative effect on school age kids. What are you could pick from this. There's a list of 12 she got from Chat GPT. You could pick do you know what the top 3 things are that affect your children when they don't sleep well? All the research done right here for you. Another idea is creating an environment for good sleep, like, using dark room, blackout shades, comfortable room temperature. You could offer to share with people, do you want the top 5 tips from experts on how to create a good sleep environment? Again, you're adding value to your audience just by doing the research for them, and Sarah's already done it for you. Here's another one about how can the use of phones and technology have a significant impact on sleep quality? So it explains, why is that? Like, I've heard that you're not supposed to use phones and technology, but why is it? What is that really true, and what causes it? You could do a TikTok video or a reel that kind of shows what are the top 3 things of why this affects your sleep negatively, and you just point them out and type them up straight from what the research is that she already did for you. Here's another one. Another one is the relationship between sugar before bed and nightmares. And why is it that eating sugar could be causing nightmares for your kids? Here's the research already done from you, just taken from Chat GPT, and then she organized it for you. Here's another one about the importance of a routine schedule, like a consistent wake and sleep time for healthy sleep patterns, and why that matters. There's the research on that. Here's another one about teaching kids a routine for structure and consistency, and leading by example, kind of to reduce back to school anxiety and stress. So it is some super good content, guys. Did you guys know that was all there? Do you like that? Was that not amazing that she did all that research for you? So you just go there and start creating some content from it. One of the other reasons why she did this is because when we give you a post to make, we are finding that so often folks are copying and pasting the exact words in the post. And that hurts all of us. When we are all saying the same thing, the algorithm picks it up and stops showing our content because it suspects that we're selling something. So that's the other reason why she's giving you a lot of content for you to present it how you want to present it to your audience. But just copying and pasting stuff is not the way to present it. And we've gone over a lot of different ways to go through that. And Bobby's saying that Chat GPT will also revise it for you if you don't know how. Yeah, you can ask it to do anything for sure. So let's jump in and look at some specific examples. Do you guys have any questions about boards before I leave boards for a second and go look at some actual examples for folks? Any questions about boards? Okay, let's see. Let's go look at Caitlin, since she was one of our first volunteers. Caitlin. Okay, so Caitlin, we are all collaborating in this. So we like to give you feedback all together. So we're going to jump in and just give you some feedback on your overall post. And I think what you're asking is likely how you could get more engagement, right? Is that probably the main thing, or what's the main thing that you feel stuck on?
Yeah, I feel like it's getting engagement.
Okay. So everybody feel free to comment on what you love about what you're seeing on Caitlin's page. Go ahead and comment, drop it in the comment, show her some love on what you're loving that you see on her page. And let me ask you this, Caitlin, while we're doing that, let me ask you a couple of quick questions. One is, I forgot it. Hang on just a second. I'll remember in a second. One is tell me how do you feel you're doing on a scale of 1 to 5, and 1 being not often and 5 being all the time. with connecting with other people, liking and loving their post, not Amari people, but people that are your friends and your maybe hot prospects. How are you doing on that?
I would say I'm doing probably like a 3 or a 4. I could have room for improvement, especially on my friends. I tend to focus on the people that I've written down and go back to and have the ones that I'm having conversations with. But I don't see a lot of my friends' content anymore. And I know that it's probably because we're not active in the chats with each other. So Facebook doesn't.
Well, that's a great point. And here's a couple of hacks that I'm going to give you for that. One thing, I'm sorry, I have other messages coming in that are popping up. So one thing is you could go to your friend's page. Like let's say that you were not already in Amari and that you were on my prospect list and that we're friends. I can go to your page and I can tap friends and I can favorite you. See how I did that? They don't know anything. Like when I unfavorite you or I favorite you, they know nothing. But what favorite you means to Facebook is that now you're going to see more of their content.
I love that.
So make your list of who the people are that you want to, that you would consider prospects, that you're maybe having some conversations with and you want to love on them and see their content more, and do that. Go straight to their page, just type in their name, go to their page, and then favorite them. Okay. One of the other things that I would say, I love your photos. I love your photos with your family. That is amazing. Your 2 littles, that is so beautiful. Everybody's saying that they love your photos. And
you see that shirt in there? It says tiny human stole my sanity is what the shirt says.
That's so funny. That's really cute.
I get a lot of comments on that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. I would say some things that I would suggest. I like what you're saying here. I would remove that you're a brand partner with Amari Global. And the reason why is not because I'm not ashamed of Amari Global, but in today's day and age, when you are making friends in other places, like in groups and in other places with people, and they come to your site to be friends with you and they see that, people immediately go to a judgment. They either go check out Amari Global and they might buy straight from Amari Global and you miss out on the sale, or they believe that you're just here to sell them something. So just remove it. Don't say that you're a brand partner with Amari Global. Don't put a link. You don't have it there, but just for everybody else's purpose, don't put a link to Amari Global. If you want to put a link in your bio, you could create a link tree where you've got, when they click on the link tree, they see the happy quiz and they may see your save $10 off and things like that. But just make that change too.
Where do I put the link? That's where I was wondering, because I do have a link tree. I can just stick it right in there.
Yeah, in your bio.
Okay.
Now, the bio has a limit on words, so you may need to tighten up your words. Sure. I would really encourage you. Who would you say is your ideal audience?
The frazzled mom, and then also kind of separately, I was a bartender for about 7 years. And so I have a plethora of primarily males, but that were in the bar trying to numb out before they would go home to their families. So I have a lot of connections that I've built up in relationships with people in that realm too. So it's kind of, I haven't really narrowed it down yet.
Well, you could start with the frazzled mom. And like, what problem do you solve for the frazzled mom?
Being able to calm their thoughts down so that they can spend some quality time with their kids without getting overwhelmed and overtouched. Being able to get rid of that brain fog that seems to loom over us as we go through our day. And just really taking some time to invest in their health so that they can be a good example for their children on what it looks like to take care of them.
What you said there is like 5 really great posts. You just gave yourself your posting content. So if you, because I know you were, sometimes I do this too, where I say things that are really brilliant and then I can't remember what I said. So I use audio notes a lot, but go back and listen to this recording, because I could see you doing a post about what brain fog feels like. Like, what is it, when, like I thought I dropped, I thought I packed his lunch, but I forgot it. And then I came home and I should have been doing the laundry and I couldn't remember to call the vet, and, whatever brain fog feels like. But describe the frustration of the brain fog and what results it has for you, and that you are working on, a journey for reducing it, and you're seeing good results, period. Don't try to explain ingredients. Don't name the product. Don't put any link there, but you catch the person's attention by describing the pain that you're in, that they're in, or that you've been in, that they're in. That gets them to lean in and read what you're talking about. And then you can talk about, or you can hint to, that you're on a journey and you're seeing good results. You're reversing your cognitive aging by 12 years. That's what MentaFocus does, for example. But you don't need to say that, and you don't need to say the ingredients. You can say that I'm reversing, I'm gaining 12 years. I'm thinking like I did when I was 20. As far as my, memory is concerned. You could do something about the calmness, the not feeling overtouched. What does that mean? What does that feel like when you're in that state of frustration or panic? And again, photo of you and the kids. Those are great posts. And I would encourage you to change your bio to be a help statement, where, I help frazzled moms, feel calm and think clearly, or something like that. I mean, and by the way, whatever you put in it today, if you come up with a better way of saying it an hour from now, you can go change it again. You can change it. There's no limit on how many times you can change it. And it's really easy. You just click one button and change it. So, but that way, when people that are connecting with you come see your page, they see what you help with. And that helps them think of who they could refer to you. But that also helps them, think of, is that me? And that is me. And they feel connected to you. So I would say shorten what you're saying there. Not as much a description of who you are, is not what your bio is, as much as what problems do you help solve. And I love that you said frazzled moms. And you could say frazzled parents if you wanted to. I help frazzled parents. Find calm and or find peace and find, clarity or something. So, and then you have room to put your bio link tree in. Helping frazzled moms find their sanity through holistic solutions. Jazzy did a great one for you there.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing that I noticed on this one that you shared this article, it looks like. I mean, right? Is it a shared article? Yeah, it's a shared article. So
someone shared that. Yeah, someone shared that and tagged me in it.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Someone did. Okay. So I don't know that would matter as much. But you know that you don't want to be sharing anything to your feed, because when you do that, it brings your algorithm down. So you don't want to share anything. I would also be careful about when you put this link here, nobody else comments anymore. And that's what you see happen. When you put that information, what these graphics are beautiful, but they're beautiful for stories. They're not made for your feed and for your post. Those are story size graphics, right? So it's made for you to get onto stories and say something about how you are, whatever, you're reversing your aging and you're noticing your brain fog is lifting. Check out what I'm using. And then boom, 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 share the graphics and the stories. Graphics are not made for this, because now anybody that sees this says, she's just selling to me. And they don't feel like they feel like they're being sold to.
Yeah, I get that. That's good advice.
Yeah. The reels are great. Let's see. I'm not sure why this one didn't get more engagement. But clearly for some reason, Facebook didn't show it to people. And I don't know if it had to do with the word melatonin or with the word hormone or with the word puberty, but there was something in it that Facebook didn't like and they didn't show it to anybody. So
Gotcha.
whenever I see a post that got absolutely no engagement, that's what it points out to me right away. So yep, just be careful about sharing. It's better to do a screenshot or to say something like, I just heard a podcast about blank. Let me know if you want the link. And then when they
Oh.
say they want the link, then you send them the link in Messenger, not in comments. So just some little things like that to look out for. Same thing. This is all for
Stories.
stories. See how it's made long? It's made for stories. And that's why you didn't get hardly any engagement on it. So that's funny. That's really cute. I love that. That's great. That's great. I don't know why you wouldn't have gotten more engagement on that one. But let's try some of those other things that we talked about and see. Again, this is for stories. So good. Is that helpful?
That was very helpful. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up a little early today to let you go back to that content from Sarah B and start working on some of your information. Anybody got any last questions before we wrap up? No? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great day today. See you later. Bye.